Back in the middle of October I got sick and bored. Because when I'm sick I'm generally not in the mood or state to play games or do anything in general. And since we were 3 weeks into the fall season I figured maybe I can watch another airing anime, instead of being smart and grabbing something from the never-changing plan to watch list. And so my eyes fell on the Kingdoms of Ruin, since the summary sounded interesting. Mistakes were made, as it has been a while since I've seen a train wreck as bad as this. And not even an entertaining one. The characters were dumb and unlikable, and the plot was all over the place in no time. And here you have my dumbass sitting through the entire thing and watching it, maybe out of stubbornness or spite. Or just my bad habit for never dropping anime kicking in. Besides, you can't complain about something if you haven't seen it. And with this video I will be dragging you down into this madness, as I'm a spiteful bitch. Though, it's not going to be as long as me watching the show on its own, so it's not going to be that bad, but you have been warned. Alright, let's get into this shit show called The Kingdoms of Ruin then. We get introduced to the world, where humans and witches lived in harmony. Witches taught humans about the world, and as you expect, humans ended up killing them, because they think they're better of course. And if there is any lesson that this anime wants to teach you, it's that humans are bad. We get introduced to our main character, the human boy named Adonis, and his master Chloe the Witch, who taught him magic, on the run from humans in the desert. Adonis takes out a smartphone, claiming that this is humanity's greatest invention ever. Remember this, we will get back to that. And Chloe tells him to put it away since it's dangerous and the humans might find him. The little shit promptly ignores this and turns on the phone, and not even a minute later, the Kingdom's command center picks us up and sends up a squad of witch hunters to hunt him down. We're off to a great start here, not even half an episode in and I'm already questioning the intelligence of the supposed main character. Chloe kills him without much of an issue, and before they know it, they get their asses teleported to the capital, in front of the Emperor, ready for public execution. Now remember less than a minute ago when Adonis said that smartphones were humanity's best invention, they called a fucking teleporter that can teleport anyone they want from any location on the planet, or even the goddamn moon, to any other location they want. And you are telling me that the smartphone is humanity's best invention? Whoever wrote this shit must have thought that In Another World with My Smartphone was the best fictional work ever as well, I bet. The two of them try to fight the Imperial Guards off, but instantly find out they cannot use any magic, thanks to a machine invented by the humans that nullifies all magic particles in the air or something. We'll get back to this one later as well. Chloe now being completely helpless, the Emperor himself proceeds to strip her naked in front of thousands of people for humiliation, and then promptly kills her. Before she can tell Adonis that she loves him.
Shot to the heart, and you're too late, darling, you give love a bad name.
Why does he do this, you ask? Well, because tits and gore are the perfect recipe to make a mature anime, of course. Also, let us not question the complication of that relationship, that's an whole other can of worms. Adonis breaks down in despair seeing his mentor he may or may not have loved getting killed, and gets thrown into jail. So that's where the story ends, right? No, that's about half of the first episode. So did you get all of that? Good, we are just starting. A 10-year time skip later, we meet the witch Dorica in prison. Who ends up being called over to the prison warden, and escapes with a smartphone, using it to release all the prisoners in the entire facility. Because, for some godforsaken reason, to look through all the cells in this entire building is a voice command on a smartphone of a single person. What is it with this fucking show and smartphones, man? I don't get it. This somehow also releases Adonis from his high security special cell. Like, seriously, what was the creator of this smartphone prison lock app thinking? Not even different codes for different priority prisoners? Okay, whatever, enough about the damn smartphones already. He conveniently breaks out when Dorica is about to get killed by the guards right in front of his face, and he kills them, saving her life in the process. The next episode is fully dedicated to Adonis spending his time killing all the humans, and anyone can see, innocent or not, he doesn't give a damn, while laughing maniacally with two magically summoned machine guns while riding a giant animated statue. I shit you not. Because at this point all he wants is genocide, killing all the humans out of revenge for killing the master he loved.
They're dead. Every single one of them.
I hate them.
Alright, and Dorica? Yeah, she died somewhere near the start of the episode, don't worry about it. She did tell him the witches were trying to revive Chloe. Remember that one for later. We also get introduced to the commander of the human forces. Let's just call him Ace for now, because look at those. And he ends up ordering his little sister that works under him to activate the magic jamming machine that he used to hunt down the witches years ago. So she goes down to the basement and gets stopped by the lead researcher who tells her that the machine, while stopping magical particles in the air, also causes the side effects of radiation. And all the soldiers in the past basically died due to cancer thanks to it, but it got swept under the rug by the higher-ups, and she wants it to never happen again. So what does little sister Chen do? Well, she activates it anyway, nearly killing herself and the scientist along with anyone else down there. However, their plan works, and Adonis can't use magic anymore, and he gets his head chopped off and dies. Well, show's over, right? Oh, are you wrong? We're only in episode 3, buddy, and this train wreck has just barely left the station. The last 5 minutes of this episode are spent on this random high school girl who lost her boyfriend in front of her eyes during Adonis' rampage, questioning the golem. But that's fine, because she took some pictures of Adonis, and actually thinks he's really fucking hot and gets all horny over him.
What? What the fuck?
Some random government official right behind her happens to see these pictures, and tells her not to show these to anyone or she might be considered a terrorist, and he says he will turn a blind eye to this. She walks away, and not even 30 seconds later he calls the hit squad on her because of terrorist collaboration, and we never see her again. Okay, sure item, I don't know what the point was that you tried to make it, fuck if I know. The next episode we find out that Adonis is actually alive, and the person who lopped his head off is a witch with some sort of duplication magic, and she sent him, I kid you not, to the goddamn moon. Adonis meets with the head witch, and we get a bit of a lore dump and they tell them that they want to revive Chloe, because she's special I suppose. Adonis figures out that this is probably just because she's the only person that can create these magical feathers, that grant humans the ability to use magic, so that the witches can train more human magic apprentices to fight a proxy war for them. We also get told that they have a magical tree that grows witches like fruits, and they got the last one in existence, and they need his memories of Chloe to bring her back through this. He agrees to this plan, but he ends up reviving Dorica instead, considering a thank you for saving him. Of course the head witch doesn't like this at all and she gets angry, but before she can do anything, it is revealed that Adonis was being tracked, and he led the human army to the moon, and he reactivates the beacon on him, because why the fuck not? Adonis also puts the magical tree on fire because I still don't really get why, he's just being a dick at this point. Meanwhile the humans arrive and they start murdering all the witches inside, and our old friend Ace also arrives and joins in the killing. We then get treated to a little flashback, showing Ace's sister is still alive, but on life support, and he just wants to live a peaceful life with her. Turns out he's a massive siscon.
Huh?
Sure, why the fuck not? Adonis goes for the kill on Ace, and it cuts right to the end of the episode, with Ace calling him back to the planet and saying that Adonis and all the witches are dead. Excuse me? What now? I blinked and the entire fight is over, and what the fuck do you mean Adonis died again? I'm not falling for this shit again. Turns out the next episode is a flashback of sorts, and shows us the entire fight from the beginning. Why was it written like this? Did you just want to have a fake out cliffhanger? It turns out that Ace as the source kills the rival Kirito, and he murders most of the witches in the entire area with one single slash, while the rest gets cleaned up by the human troops that just keep teleporting in. But he gets stopped by Dorica and a special love magic that basically forces the subject to obey everything the caster demands. However, he resists this, and she goes on a rant that she just wants humans and witches to be friends, and that there is no point in all this bloodshed, while getting punched in the face by him. Dorica, why? They are wiping all your friends out behind you, they don't care. What do you think you can possibly gain from this? You naive little shit. And Adonis uses his opportunity to stab Ace in the back of the head, killing him off. Fun fact, this magical witch-bearing tree was surrounded by water at first, now it's all blood instead. Did I mention this show was needlessly edgy? Meanwhile, back on the planet, it turns out that the Queen was a witch all along, controlling the Emperor with the same kind of magic Dorica has. No, I would be surprised, but the show keeps pulling the most random shit over his ass, so whatever. And she uses her magic to make the Emperor kill himself by jumping off the castle balcony, conveniently landing on a spike on a tower. Well, okay then. As to why she does this, God fucking knows at this point. If she wanted to rule, what took her so long to do this? It's not like he had an entire decade to do this shit. She does seem to mention that she wants someone who died back alive. She also mentions ensemble verse. Oh no. Are you throwing in some multiverse bullshit too now? Is she some sort of universe's Chloe looking for the Adonis that she lost or some shit? I need a drink. I can't handle this anymore. Meanwhile on the moon, Adonis killed all the human troops, while Dorica begged him to stop because revenge only begets revenge, yada yada, and he says no, because he's committed to the genocide speedrun. Honestly, at this point I cannot see the shit show of a story end without this clown dying, but we'll see if I'm correct or not. Then he turns his attention to Ace, and cuts his face off.
His face, the eyes, nose, skin, it's coming off.
And he uses this as a mask to inform the command center everything is a-okay in the moon now, and he gets beamed back to the planet with Dorica, but those clever little bastards are onto him. Command seeing through this, decides to line up the firing squad when he teleports him over, but you know he won't die, come on now, something is going to happen. He survived twice already by sheer stupidity. So he somehow hijacks the teleporter, and with some aswell magic, they end up in the desert. And after a little argument with Dorica telling him to give up on revenge, they get found by Mad Max and he takes him to his place. And then, for some godforsaken reason, the show decides to give us some comic relief, with Dorica failing to ride a motorcycle, because all the genocide and murder early on was too heavy. We also get 2 fake-outs of sexual assault happening here, because, once again, for some reason I guess. He ends up leaving her behind with a Mad Max wannabe, but a little pep talk is making him to start up his plans. And Dorica seems to be getting, surprise to no one, feelings for him. Don't try to give me this character development over halfway into the series. No matter what Adonis is going to do, he's not going to be able to redeem himself from all the shit he's done so far. Don't even tempt us with the idea. And Dorica wanting to protect him so he doesn't die comes out of nowhere too. He clearly stated he hated you multiple times. Why the fuck are you getting feelings for this clown? As an aside, why is it called Kingdoms of Ruin anyway? We only ever see one kingdom. Wait a damn minute. It's an empire! Oh, and even better, get this. Its capital is called New Nightmare. Don't worry, civilians, we are the good guys. Meanwhile, inside capital, the new queen is getting coronated, and it turns into an idol show with her as a main singer. Wait, what the absolute fuck is this show? How do you make this shit up? You can't watch this for half an episode without something absolutely mind-boggling happening, I swear to God. This broadcast also reaches a different as of now never seen nation, and they seem to be keenly aware that she is a witch, so I guess everyone in the country is just brainwashed from the get-go. Or very stupid, and knowing this show, it's probably that. And then we get introduced to this guy, let's call him Mr. Hands for now, who is the Queen's right-hand simp and childhood friend somehow. Anyway, he has been assigned to track down Adonis, and judging from the opening, they'll meet up soon enough. On the road, Dorica and Adonis have a little chat, and why she asks him to leave alone the innocent people that don't have anything to do with this, he just says nah, and tells her to not get in his way, again. And they arrive at a deserted place called Sandland. Wait a minute. They meet up with a crazy old guy in a prison cell, and after some world building that doesn't really matter in the grand scale of this train wreck, they move to the next place. And the next place being boobies. No, seriously, this city has statues with massive tits everywhere, what the fuck? And they run into a malfunctioning sex robot? Well, look at it, whatever. A bit later they run into, well, can't show that on YouTube. Let's just say a couple of berserk sex robots having a go at a bunch of dead humans. Fun is over, guys, back to the edge that has been lacking in these last 2 episodes. The show tries to give us some heavy-handed exposition once again that humans are bad and that they only create things for their own pleasure. They destroy the robots, and that's all for that side quest. Back to our regularly scheduled bullshit. This bullshit including Dorica saying she doesn't mind that Adonis got all the witches killed while luring the humans to the moon as they try to use him and trying to be friends with him. 2 random ninja ladies that show up and that are on a mission from a different nation to capture Adonis as a trump card against the evil empire. As well as Mr. Hands also showing up in the town at the exact same time as the ninjas are there, and killing them before showing up in front of Adonis, juggling their heads. He attacks Adonis and we get this lame-ass Matrix reference, because why wouldn't they put this in?
Huh?
Dorica tries to stop him with her magic, but he starts laughing and he just resists it because he's already under the Queen's spell. And he says he's not surprised that she has this magic, as she just looks like the Queen. Well, there you have that multiverse theory I had earlier, but it is another universe as Dorica and not Chloe. God fucking damn it. They team up to fight this unlimited fingerworks, but in one of the lamest fights ever considering this is 2 magic users and a cyborg, they get their ass kicked, and Dorica gets dragged off and her eyes gouged out. Why didn't the guy just murder her? I don't know. And Adonis suddenly seems to care for her and feels bad about this, after insulting her the entire time and saying that he doesn't care about her. Ah, you insufferable fool. And then, somehow the show managed to get a single laugh out of me, when Mr. Hands taunts Adonis by dangling her eyes in front of him and saying he has her balls, and then bounces them around like Joseph does with his American flaggers. Yeah, I don't know. I guess this is supposed to be tragic, but the show made me lose it a long time ago, so it's just hilarious. This of course sends Adonis in a rage, despite, let me remind you, he never cared about her in the entire goddamn story. And Adonis swears revenge, again, because he can't seem to protect a single woman in his life. Oh boo-hoo, maybe he should act as an adult instead of an insufferable little twat. And he ends up summoning that same goddamn golem from episode 2 and gets ready to fight Mr. Hands. And at this point it dawns on me that this fight is probably going to be the climax of the entire anime. Of course there is no way everything is going to be resolved unless it's rushed to no end, which in turn also wouldn't surprise me. So Adonis gets slapped around a bit by a giant hand made out of hands, and he gets defeated. And then he asks Doroka to put her magic on him, so he can become a puppet that can fight back even if his body loses the capability to do so. She does, and then what? Flashback time! Doroka got bullied as a kid because the other witches found her magic disgusting, because it can only manipulate human men. Which seems to be double disgusting for witches, so they cast her out and call her a blight on witch kind, and she hates herself and them for it. Flashback over. Somehow this supercharges her magic potency, and Adonis goes Super Saiyan. Now, I expected an ass pull somewhere along the road, but this is something else. And Adonis is now just brainwashed, but does he have any agency left over his own mind? I hope God knows, because I sure as hell don't, and I'm sure the writer of this shite doesn't even know what he's doing ever since the third episode. And as one would expect, Adonis completely throws his Mr. Hands, all while referring to Doroka as his princess. Yeah, surely he ain't brainwashed. He easily casts the most powerful spell Chloe once told him about called Ritual of Ruin. Damn it, not even a title drop. I'm disappointed. Mr. Hands gets turned into an icicle, and the entire region gets turned into the goddamn North Pole. And in the aftermath, Adonis is happy that he fulfilled his old promise to Chloe, that he would protect someone with his magic. Dude, you did more harm than anything else in this entire show. Stop being proud of yourself, you self-indulgent moron. Meanwhile, back in the capital, the Queen is now just jogging through the city like nothing ever happened, and blasting idol music on her iPods. What the fuck is going on in the show? Now at the end, we finally get to see some scenes of different kingdoms, you know, what the title alluded to this whole time. And the Queen says she will reach war on them if they don't give in to her demands. What are her demands? God knows. Meanwhile, back on the frozen remains of Tit City, Adonis and Doroka reconcile. He apologizes for being a rude asshole the entire story, and says she can rely on him now. And they leave on a merry way to their next destination. And then it ends, just like that. No resolution, no glorious trash fire, no nothing. Waiting for season 2 that it hopefully never gets. We do get a post-credit scene that shows us that Sister-chan has awoken and wants revenge for her now dead brother. You have been in suspended coma this entire time, how the fuck do you even know what's going on? Why hello there, bait for a second season that is never going to happen. If this show gets a second season, I will eat my shoes. There are so many shows out there that deserve a second season, and this shit better not be getting any, but I will watch it, just so I can save you all the time and show you the absurdities that happen in it. Sunk cost fallacy is a bitch. I have wasted 6 hours of my life watching this train wreck, and even more making a video about it. And if you've been watching till now, then have successfully managed to waste your life as well. It's been a long time since I've seen something this bad, and God, I'd forgotten this feeling. The worst part is it doesn't even look horrible. The art looks fine, other than some animation hiccups near the end of all of it. And this weird foggy filler that gets put over everything at times. The voice acting is adequate, and the opening and ending songs aren't all bad at all. The plot, however, is a mess and needlessly edgy at times. All the twists just makes your eyes roll, if not just make you laugh at how stupid the developments you need to take serious are. And then there is also this whole multiverse plotline with the Queen and Doroka that just does not get explained and only gets alluded to. Adonis just being an insufferable twat hellbent on genocide of innocent people, and the naive Doroka who just wants to be friends with everyone. Ooh, please no fight. The more I think about things, the worse they get. And I want to apologize for wasting your time with this. I'm dragging you to hell with me. I feel I lost more brain cells over this than I ever should have, and in hindsight I should have just watched something from my backlog that I would have enjoyed more. Oh well, it's a grim reminder that there are numerous trash shows out there, I suppose. This was my name is Sora, and I'll see you next video, where I'll undoubtedly talk about a better anime. Oh, and don't forget, smartphones are humanity's best invention. Ta-ta!